behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Everybody, welcome to Paul Mash TV again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got a great interview coming up in just a moment. Before we begin, we always have that subscribe button and bell buttons below you there. Just click those, and anytime a new episode comes your way, you'll be notified for that. And leave a comment on the comment section if you'd like. And if you check out the description, it'll have contact info, and we'll have that contact info again at the closing credits of the show, of course. So we hope you stay tuned for that. For the second time on our show, we have Michael Botte from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And he's back giving us updates on everything that's been going on since last time, so I know you'll want to see that. And we'll get to that in a second because it starts right now. Okay, here we are with the interview again, and with us for the second time from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, we have Michael Botte. And thank you so much for coming back, Michael.
Paul, I cannot believe that you felt I was worthy of another visit. So I am so happy that you felt I was worthy of a second visit. And I'm so looking forward to chatting with you for a few minutes, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, we're always happy to have you back. And well, first of all, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing since the last time? It's been about 9 months, by the way. I'm sure a lot of things have happened that you'd like to talk about, so go ahead.
Yeah, boy, it's been close to a year. I know you looked that up earlier. So a lot has changed, I got to say, when I first started this whole gig, over COVID quarantine, that's when the Michael Botte band was born. It was just for fun and just to mess around, and I had time to kill, and I thought, well, let me just try this music thing. How cool would that be, right? But I got to say, it's changed a lot since you and I last talked. I think probably most notably, and you probably have seen some of the posts, back in September, I think it was, or November, October, was it last fall, I signed with Big Records, my record company. And I will say things change whenever you sign on with, a company like that has so many resources and opportunities and helps direct you on, what's important, that kind of stuff. So a lot has changed. So yeah, I'm now part of a record company, and I'm so happy to be a part of the family. It's a blessing. Yeah.
Yeah, you just mentioned Big Records, and for all you out there, yeah. Well, I've been doing a lot of interviews for them,
Yep.
and they're a real great company to work for. And well, I'm glad that you're doing that, and hopefully you'll be even better, at what you're doing because you joined Big Records. So I hope you have lots of luck with that.
Yeah, things have changed. I mean, one thing that's nice about when you sign with Big Records, you get distributed by Sony Orchard. I will say being part of the Sony music family feels really, really good for a little guy like me. So that's part of the benefit of signing with the Big Records. But then, the promotional work, they were my last release prior to I Got a Song, the one prior to that, Radiate, which I think you and I have spoken about. They were, able to get that song onto Cashbox Magazine's, pop rock top 100, Paul. I mean, that's a really big deal, and I'm so fortunate that I had the opportunity to at least be presented. But with some of that Big Records muscle, comes opportunities like that. So yeah, a lot has changed, a lot more exposure, which just means that I have to put more time and money and effort into my quality production to make sure I'm making something that people want to hear. Yes.
Okay. Well, have you had a chance to do any shows or concerts or anything? If you have, maybe you could tell us where. That way, the people who's in Philadelphia, they may want to catch you.
Yeah, nothing here. I know there's a couple different tours being developed by Big Records, of course. And your name gets thrown around for different things. So there's nothing to actually report, but things are in progress, things are moving. So I don't have actually anything to say. I do know that if I were picked up on one of the tours, it would not be in the Philadelphia area. So it really wouldn't matter anyway, unfortunately. But that's okay. I'll go anywhere.
Yeah, that's yeah, I know that Big Records does have a Rise Up tour. That's probably what you're referring to. And
one of them.
I have interviewed a few people that have gone on that, and they really enjoyed it. But anyway, just keep in contact with Michael. I mean, you have an official website, I guess, right? You're on Facebook, obviously, as well.
Yeah, the good news for me is Michael Botte Band is everywhere. I mean, that's just what I use. So if you're so inclined to find my music, it's Michael Botte Band. However, Twitter was M Botte because it was too long, I guess, or X, whatever it's called. So everywhere else is just Michael Botte Band. Yes.
Okay, and I'm sure you can, inform everybody, like the fans and the friends and so forth, about where you're going to be on the tour, and they can check you out there.
Oh, it'd be great. Trust me, if I go somewhere, everyone's going to know about it. Trust me,
Oh,
including you, Paul.
okay. Well, go do that. I know Michael would love you for that. And we were just talking a minute ago about Radiate. Tell us a little story about that song. I'm sure it's self-explanatory, but tell us in your own words. We'd love to hear about that song.
Yeah, Radiate was a big release for us. So I released it in October of just last year, so a few months ago. A big release for us because when I first started this, my producer and I, Bob Beals from Sound Foundation Studios, we were kind of in that country rock world, which treated us very, very well. I mean, one of our songs went to #1 in Europe. We were #1 on the World Indie Music Chart back in mid-May for a song called Beautiful Day. So the country rock thing kind of started this whole thing and, opened some doors for me. But Radiate was the first song that was that first step out of the country rock into more of that alt pop rock, if you will. We did, however, leave a banjo. There's a light banjo in the chorus and the second verse to kind of help that transition. So Radiate was like a big release for me, and it was my first release with big records. So what the song is all about, Paul, is, obviously, like I said earlier, Michael Botte Band was officially formed during COVID quarantine. But as you know, the world shut down, and in a time of chaos and confusion and uncertainty, I will say that COVID was very, very unkind to my family, and the details aren't important right now, but very, very unkind to my family. So when my wife and I would kind of, get through the day and kind of breathe and the day was over, I would go out to a little spot in my backyard. I have a little bit of property, and I would sit on a bench under these trees, and I would desperately, Paul, just try to think of my blessings. And you know how it goes, man. When a man's staring into the abyss, sometimes it's tough to recognize all your blessings. So I would just sit there and recognize my blessings and use the power of the mind. And to me, I would radiate. So that's what the song is all about. It's about me just using the power of the mind, recognizing my blessings, and just trying to overcome adversity. So when you listen to the chorus, you'll understand a little bit about that. But that's what Radiate is all about. And again, that's the song that made it up to number 42 on Cashbox Magazine's Pop Rock Top 100, which was just phenomenally exciting for someone like me. So yeah, thanks for asking about that. I think you're playing it. Maybe you are, but yeah, thanks for asking about that.
Yeah, we'll be playing that in just a second, by the way.
Oh, right on.
But before we get into that video, I just want to thank you again, Michael, for coming back on the show. We'll enjoy having you. Come back anytime you want to plug something new. Maybe we'll have you back on.
Hey, brother, man, thank you so much for doing this. Now that I've done it twice, I don't see why I can't do it 3 times.
Well, that sounds like a plan, Michael.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man.
And here it is, Radiate by Michael Botte. It begins right now.
I close my eyes and then I close my eyes and then I radiate. I tried 1,000,000 times, for heaven's sake, to dig myself out of this sudden earthquake. But I see Orion floating right on by, and I hear the sisters singing across a boundless sky. I can't find the forest through the trees. I'll ask the wise men, can you release me? I close my eyes and then I radiate. I purify and then I consecrate. I may start slow but I accelerate. I close my eyes and then I radiate. I'll paint a picture using just my words, colored with everything that I've said and heard. My cup is full but I cannot hold it. I took a drink but then I went out and sold it. I can't find the forest through the trees. I'll ask the wise men, can you release me? consecrate. I may start slow, but I accelerate. I close my eyes and then I radiate. And then I radiate. I purify and then I consecrate. I may start slow, but I accelerate. I close my